2025 Suzuki Fronx review. The Suzuki Fronx is the Japanese compact car brand's new entry-level SUV, bringing a strange name but cute styling and a familiar feel. Pros: user-friendly interior, plenty of safety tech, and it's well-calibrated. Cute styling. Cons: pricier than key rivals, lethargic powertrain, dated interior. What the Fronx? Suzuki puts it right out there in its own advertising. It's a silly name, Fronx, which apparently is short for Frontier crossover. But just what the Fronx is the Suzuki Fronx. It's a new light SUV from Suzuki, just under 4 meters long. That makes it almost 300 millimeters longer than the defunct Ignis, but 200 millimeters shorter than the Toyota Yaris Cross that slots in under the Vitara. There's also a replacement of sorts for the Baleno. Like that hatchback, it's sourced from India, and it actually shares its platform with the latest version of a Baleno, which was axed here in 22.T slots into a Suzuki SUV lineup that's in flux. The Ignis is out the door, the S-Cross doesn't. Look far behind it. And the outgoing Vitara is in run-out mode with an update on the horizon, except in Queensland, where it's been axed as it's been a long wait for the Fronx, which was first revealed back in January 2023. Suzuki Queensland said this mild hybrid 1.5-liter four-cylinder version was the first made available to our market. We attended Suzuki Queensland's launch of the Fronx in Brisbane to see if this light SUV was worth the wait. How much does the Suzuki Fronx cost? There's just one well-equipped version of the Fronx, priced at $28,990 before our road costs nationwide. That's quite a bit more expensive than the old Baleno. But there's also quite a bit more standard equipment here to get a similarly equipped Kia Stonic or Hyundai Venue. You're looking at paying at least $1,000 more. Still, when you can get a Cherry Tigger 4 or Mahindra XUV 3XO for under $24,000, drive away with much of the equipment found here. It's clear Suzuki is banking on buyers wanting to pony up the extra cash for a more familiar, trusted nameplate. What is the Suzuki Fronx like on the inside? The interior is familiar Suzuki. For better or worse, you'll see some items either new to the brand in Australia or only seen on the S-Cross, such as a head-up display, an electric park brake, and a surround view. Camera: there's a lot of familiar switch gear, which is no bad thing. For one, this means actual buttons and switches, in stark contrast to rival Chinese SUVs in which so many functions are buried in touchscreen menus, actual physical climate controls. Yes, please. Also, to make things even easier for, shall we say, more seasoned Fronx owners, a lot of buttons have large fonts and icons on them. You won't miss the fuel filler door release on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, for example. The only touch controls are the shortcuts for home and volume under the well-sized 9.0-inch infotainment. Met here you see HSC RE, and now the touchscreen has wireless, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, and a home screen with movable widgets. Here's where you can view fuel economy information. Though to reset this, you still have to press an old-school button on the end of a stick within the instrument cluster. The cluster has a color screen between the simple, legible analog gauges. It's not ultra-modern, but it all works well. A head-up display is projected onto a piece of clear plastic that rises up from the dashboard. Much like you'll find in the likes of the Mazda CX-3 and Kia Seltos, there's a wireless charging pad at the base of the center stack. Plus to well-positioned cup holders, the heated seats oddly have only one stage of heating, but the front seats themselves are comfortable with a mix of leatherette and fabric upholstery. They're soft but supportive. The center console is low, but features a storage bin with a padded armrest. A wireless phone charger sits at the base of the center stack, along with a 12 volts outlet and a USB outlet. There are well-sized bottle holders in each door, and to well-positioned cup holders in the center console. Suzuki has also included a cubby to the right-hand side of the steering wheel, though given it has no lid, we can't imagine what you'd put here. From a usability point of view, then the Fronx interior generally does well. From a design point of view, it already looks rather dated and built to a price, though it does at least feel well put together. Suzuki has tried to dress up the dashboard, center console and doors with some unconvincing metallic and gloss black trim, though the mandatory black and red colorway is more appealing. Some weren't a fan at the launch, but I'll take a splash of color over black on black on black any day. Everything is hard plastic apart from the leatherette inserts on the doors. Though that's not unusual for this segment. It's a bit annoying, though, to find 3 prominent blank buttons on the center console when this is supposed to be a top-spec model. Step into the back seat, and someone 180 centimeters tall can sit comfortably behind themselves, with an impressive amount of legroom for something just for meters long. Headroom is good too, though the roofline does drop down a bit, which makes it feel slightly claustrophobic. There's no fold-down center armrest or air vents back here, but you get bottle holders in the doors plus a pair of USB outlets there. Our 3 top leather anchor points for child seats, plus isofix points for the outboard seats. The rear seats split and fold 60 to 40, allowing you to expand the boot space. There's also a split-level boot floor, though disappointingly there's no spare under here, just a tire repair kit. What's under the bonnet? Just one powertrain is offered in Australia, a naturally aspirated 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with a mild hybrid system. Sadly, we miss out on the 1.0-liter turbo 3-pot offered overseas over a mix of inner-city, suburban, and highway driving across the launch drive. We averaged 6.8L, 100 kilometers. How does the Suzuki Fronx drive? Much as the interior offers a familiar Suzuki experience, but with some new technology. So does the drive experience. The mild hybrid system doesn't allow the vehicle to drive purely on electric power like a hybrid or plug-in hybrid, but it does smooth out the engine start system, making it much less jerky than the setups from some rival brands. The Fronx uses the brand's newest HVS mild hybrid system, in which an integrated starter generator, ISG, replaces the alternator. During deceleration, power generated from ISG is stored in a 12 volts lithium-ion battery, while Suzuki says this provides power assistance to the engine. We wonder how much more sluggish the Fronx would be without the HEV setup because, well, she ain't quick. The Fronx would benefit from one of Suzuki's peppy turbocharged engines because it feels lethargic. Even a CVT or manual could help bring out the most of this small engine, as the 6-speed auto only serves to emphasize the Fronx's sluggishness. The drive route took us up some steep grades where it struggled. Flicking at the Sport made it noisier, but scarcely more responsive. You can manually change gears via paddles behind the steering wheel. A motorway jaunt revealed the Fronx isn't dangerously underpowered, as we were able to overtake without breaking into a cold sweat, but the Fronx is more urban. Runabout then. Highway cruiser dot, it is fairly quiet and settled at highway speeds, however, and the adaptive cruise control works well. Without setting a cruise though, we noticed in highway driving it would shuffle between 5th and 6th gear repeatedly. That ride comfort is up to class standards. The Fronx features torsion beam suspension at the rear like many rivals, but bumps are well absorbed. Alas, steering feels a bit disconnected. The weighting seems fine at first, being neither too heavy nor too light, but it's uncommunicative. It's a shame, as Suzuki knows how to make an SUV that's engaging to drive. Just look at the VITA area, throw it into a corner, and the Fronx feels fairly sorted. With body roll well controlled, this doesn't feel like an SUV, thanks to its low center of gravity. But between the so-so steering and sluggish engine, there's not a lot of fun to be had here. This isn't intended to be a pocket rocket, but we know Suzuki is capable of making a more engaging vehicle. Like the Vitara, there's an annoying imposition on the shifter which you are guaranteed to accidentally select when looking for drive once you hear the engine revving its guts out in first. You'll know to quickly move the shifter back to D like many Chinese rivals. The active safety and driver assist features are well calibrated. The lane keep assist gives the steering a gentle nudge if you're drifting towards a lane marking, but it never feels overbearing. There's no driver monitoring system or overspeed alert to bang and bong at you incessantly. Either kudos to Suzuki for fitting a surround view camera system, but the resolution is among the worst on the market. Rivals like G have nothing to worry about here. What do you get? There's just one grade of Fronx available. There's the Suzuki Fronx Safe. The Suzuki Fronx has yet to be assessed by a NCAP or Euro NCAP. Standard safety equipment includes autonomous emergency braking, pedestrian detection, cyclist detection, motorcycle detection, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, rear cross traffic alert, traffic, sign recognition, surround view camera, front and rear parking sensors, front side and curtain airbag show. Much does the Suzuki Fronx cost per run? Suzuki has confirmed the Fronx will be covered by 5 years or 75,000 kilometers of capped price servicing in Queensland. These services are capped at $319, $349, $579, $349, and $319, respectively. Suzuki Australia has published slightly different service prices: $329, $399, $549, $399, and $329, respectively. Care experts take on the Suzuki Fronx. Suzuki is counting on buyers in one of the most price-conscious segments in the Australian new car market to spend more for a vehicle. That's smaller and less powerful than many Chinese and Indian small SUVs. It's an uphill struggle for a vehicle that struggles uphill. To be perfectly frank about the Fronx, it lacks the zippiness of many of its rivals thanks to a tardy powertrain. Well, its price is relatively high, even if it does have a good amount of standard safety tech, but it also has plenty of attributes that will appeal to buyers. It comes with Suzuki's reputation for reliability, a sturdy and no-nonsense feel, plenty of logically laid-out physical controls, and a suite of safety technology that won't drive you nuts with binging and bonging for those who want more kit than a base Venue or Stonic and who don't yet trust a Chinese or Indian budget brand. The Fronx makes a solid case for itself. We just wish it had more of Suzuki's spunkiness and a lower price.